Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Heartblossom from Jenna Black. So it's a really neat tangle, and starts off with 4 orbs. Well, you know what? It's funny. I usually do north, south, east, west. I didn't this time. A lot of times that's easier. And I probably could have separated them a little bit further, but you know what? That's okay. This is Zentangle. And there's no such thing as a mistake. I'm looking back at Jenna's step out, and I'm like, oh, well, I could, well, as I was playing with it, this is how I did it, but it was on a little bit smaller piece of paper. All right, from here. Now, here's something interesting is because Jenna shows it, well, and just like any step outs, it has a box. And my first impression was, oh, this is a grid pattern. And you know what? It certainly could be if you wanted it to be, but you could do it, uh, not. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do it not as a grid. And if you take a look at the for more inspiration link, you'll see in Jenna's sample, um, she does it a little bit differently than what she has in the step out. And it's interesting. Okay, so here's how it goes. Once you have your 4 orbs, then we're going to make heart shapes. And a heart shape, somebody said that they had trouble making heart shapes. So if you do, think of it this way. So I'm going to start here. It's going to be really a C shape. This one is going to be a backward C shape, though. And for whatever reason, I like to start this way. So I'm starting a little bit down from that orb, and I'm going to touch it and swinging around like a C, and then I'll put a little flare at the end. You can, I actually I could make it a little bit thinner, but that's okay. And then, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, got myself backwards. So this is a backward C shape. Now we'll do it how you would normally say write it. And again, if you just do just a C, that's perfect. All right, and then we're going to go around. And same thing, so starting a little bit below that orb to kind of come up. Mine are all going to be this way. That's good. Consistency, if you don't like how you do something or something goes a little wonky, just keep doing it that way. It's all right. And as you notice, I'm touching the side. So, the first one is the first one. And then after that, I'm working to touch the side of, that I've come to. So like right here and then down towards the end of the paper. And you can make these as big or as small as you want to, of course. Okay. Next, in these crevices that we have now, we're going to put more orbs. I'm going to bake this one. Well, that first one was a little bit bigger, not the second one. Doesn't matter what size. Okay, then kind of rinse and repeat. Same thing that we did here. And I'm going to aim for this corner like that and touching. And I'm not worried about if the heart shape looks symmetrical or not. I personally kind of like them to look a little off center or just off. All right, last one. Okay, and I'm making a mental note at this kind of looks kind of sloppy-ish, and now we will make with the magic. Okay. From here, pick one to start. And what we're going to do is we're going to put lines on all of them. But I'm going to start right here in the center. And I'm going to do a line, not necessarily straight, down the center. Then from that same place and then going to the same place, I'm just coming out a little bit, kind of auraing it. And then I'm coming from the same place and doing it again. And of course I'm arching it a little bit because I'm I'm trying to fit in lines in this space, right? And like I said, and I'm arching, but I'm for the most part working to come out of this space, and then as it comes down, you can, I'm tracing over a little bit, not necessarily all the way down, but just over a little bit, as you can see. And let's see. And if you take a look at Jenna's step out, she kind of does it a little bit differently. And this is just the way I'm doing it. Whatever way you end up doing it, just putting lines in is going to be fine. She kind of travels it, her lines, up these the shoulders of the heart. And frankly, I just had trouble doing that, so this is what I ended up doing. And that's why I like to share different ways to do things. And also, and especially if I do something a little bit different, I'm going to reference what did the originator of the tangle do, as I just did, because I want you to be able to go and take a look, and maybe that works better for you. It's all okay. This one, and sometimes the pen wants to do what the pen wants to do. This one, I elongated the line, which looks fine. It's all good. That's what makes Zentangle so interesting. Besides the fact that we are all different, and so we have our different take. It's kind of like handwriting. We all learn. We not well. If you took a school where you learned how to write, and then let's see, say by the time you graduate, everybody's handwriting looks a little bit different, and it's just so fun. Wow, look at that one. I'm going to go back and fix that in a minute. I'm going to fix it now. There we go. And sometimes, if you need to turn your tile because it's more comfortable for your hand to do the curve line like this, instead of having it feel foreign, do that. And then we are just going all the way around with this. Now, also when I was looking at Jenna's and just kind of examining things, at first I didn't see a line straight down, but then as I was looking closer, it's like some of them did, some of them didn't. And I like to, that's how I like to start things. And like I said, she had some on there that did, so that's good. So I'm just going with it. Actually, this, doing lines like this, there are several tangles that are like this. I want to say Cena is the one that pops into my head, where we kind of come from one point and then go to the next, and depending on that we'll make a line, and kind of have have it coming out like this in different places. Anyway, it is just really really neat. You might be if you're a seasoned ish tangler, you might have come across some of these. And if you make them a little wiggly, then it adds character, and then things you don't have to worry about, like everything being straight and precise. All right, and then we'll do something with those orbs inside. I actually as I was playing with this, I had one heart that didn't. I like something. Something shifted it in the pen decided it didn't want to meet up with that other. It was having an argument or something. So there was a little gap. And so what's neat about this is, as I was doing these lines, I'm like, wow, look it, I'm just going to put a whole new one right on that end, and you wouldn't even know. I love stuff like that. All right. And you know what's also nice about this is you can totally just get lost in these lines and not really thinking about them, but just kind of, watching what the pen does with them. But yeah, you can totally get lost. And look at how neat that looks. But wait, there's more. So these orbs, and actually, both in the step out, in my step out and in Jenna's, when I did the heart, I usually hit that orb, and as I mentioned, they were a little bit small. So here's how we fix that. I am going to, and actually, I'm going to leave the little shine part here, and we're going to go around. If I don't like it, so I'm just going to make these bigger. No, I'll come back with a white gel pen if I want to add that. And so the nice thing about when we fill anything in is as long as it can be bigger, then we can course correct just like that. It's just if you want it to go the other direction, it doesn't work so well. Yeah, now these ones were a little bit nicer. There's, I can leave the little shine place in. And when I do that, by the way, I always do it a little bit bigger than I think it should. And then this one here didn't meet either, so we'll fix that. We'll fill that all in. I'll come back. I leave it a little bit bigger because then I can always course correct it. Or do like I just did and just go right over it. That needs to be a little out. And then we can just add it with, and so I can even add it where I left the spot. And you can do that. It's nice because then it's not necessarily competing with the ink. So yeah, and you can almost kind of see that, like these are a little bit darker than this one. You can see that already. And all you do is you just go back and you can touch it up, let it dry, and then add some. It's all good. All right. And that makes a difference. Now, and then you can play. I'm going to play because I really like this. I like that Jenna did this on her sample, and I did this on mine. It was a little bit different. She filled in the whole center with orbs, but I'm going to leave those ones filled in and just fill in around the outsides of that in the center there with just other orbs. And if you wanted to play and put other orbs around, of course you can. Looking at Jenna's beautiful sample, she has it. What is that? Looks like it's either some zinger in there and some other little organics. All right, now for some shading. Where these points gather, we're going to start there. Just putting some graphite in. Both at the top and the bottom. And then we'll spread it out with the tortillon. And I'm going to get what I can before I have to move. Well, it's just silly. I should do them. I like to put the tip of the tortillon where I want it the darkest, or or it's just where I don't want it to go over. So I'm putting the tip here, and then I always bringing the graphite down, say towards me, versus the other way. All right, now we'll come back. Sometimes I get caught up in, oh, let's be efficient and not have to turn this tile around 100 times. And then it's just kind of silly. Oh, look at that. What magic. And then you can have fun with this and, bring it out just as much as you want. Like some of these bigger ones, like I can bring that down just a little bit more. Or maybe up the sides. And you know what? You could put it along the sides if you wish. Gosh, that just makes it. And just a moment ago, I was thinking it looked rather sloppy. And I wasn't really happy. It's amazing. Love it. Love it, love it. All right. If you enjoyed this, and I'm gonna put some little orbs in here and there because I feel like it. I like doing. I always think that looks neat when people do it. And I was thinking, yes, I am gonna do some right here in these little gaps that I didn't. I'm not gonna fill it in with black because then you wouldn't see it. But I can put some little orbs in here and kind of like matches the center then. Oh yes. So cool. All right. So again, if you enjoyed this, would love to have you click like. Feel free to share it and leave comments if you liked it enough to see more. Would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I already mentioned the description section to find the step outs. I also have below those link to my website. So if you are interested in taking online classes, you can find those there. I also have to have tangles on there. I just added a new section for our, it's not for our community. Our Tangle Addicts community has some very talented people that have come up with some really neat tangles. And I finally, through a process of figuring some other things out, figured, I can put these here, so you will see in the menu new tangles from the Tangle Addicts community, and I wanted to highlight them. I'm going to further highlight later, but at least this is a start, and it's just rather fun. So take a look at that. If you'd like to join our community, we're mostly on Facebook, because Facebook groups just works pretty well. So if you happen to be on Facebook, in the description I also have a link to my page. Would love if you'd click like on that, or follow, I think it is now. And if you want to take a look at our group, we would love to have you join us. There are 4 statements, 2 required questions on that to gain membership. So just as a note to let you know that I have that on there. It just helps to set the tone of the group and alert things, because I really don't like deleting posts. And so as long as I kind of put forth here's what we're about, and here's just a couple rules, and things work well. So with that, I think I've hit everything. What a gorgeous tangle. All right, again, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so thankful that you're watching and having fun with me. Oh, you know what, I'm just thinking one last thing. While you're on my website, if you'd like to follow my blog, that would be lovely. We're doing Valentangles, at least until Valentine's Day at the time of this recording, because it's just the beginning of February. And that's why one of the reasons that I picked this one. So follow me there, and then you'll get the prompt every day with a link to this video. So, all right, thanks so much for watching again, and I wish you happy tangling.